Hello, I'm Eagle Gardens, Eagle Gardens One on Instagram, and this is fucking talking shit with Eagle, episode 413. Hopefully, you guys have had a great Monday. Chad Westport falling in right now. What's up, Mr. Westport?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Pretty good.
What?
Oh, I'm talking in the background.
Oh,
There we go.
I
had to make some concessions to do the show. Still hot as shit in the garden.
Oh, yeah.
So we're doing a semi-nude. We're doing a semi-nude episode tonight.
You just
a little work in shirtless fucking shirt and short shorts, gym shorts fucking episode to fucking make it happen. It is what it is.
Just don't tell anybody. I thought about doing that once. It's like it would be funny to do like an episode pantsless, and then like within a week be like, okay, guys. So one day this week I did an episode with no pants. Which one was it?
I definitely got pants on. I'll give you that. I definitely got pants on. Okay. For sure.
Well, I appreciate that.
I bet. It would probably make me a little nervous too if somebody on the other side, off camera, was like, "Yeah, bacon."
I'm just like all of a sudden I hear like whipped cream bottles and stuff. That'd be a little
very creepy.
I thought I would pull an Eagle tonight. I really should be trimming right now, but I'm like, I'm gonna do what Eagle does. I should be trimming, but I'm gonna hop online right now.
I appreciate that. My friend. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. I love being in chat. Chat's always fun, but then I'm never really up here getting to converse with you guys, and it's fun to get to talk with you. So I'm happy that we get to do it. I almost didn't know. I'm like, oh no, is he not answering tonight?
Well, you know what's funny, Chad? You may think this is funny, you may not think this is funny, but I've been super busy and I haven't had time to kind of hang out in chats lately. And I'm sure everybody has noticed my absence, as they say, "What the fuck?" when I'm there. What the fuck? Look, he's finally taking some time. So it was nice hanging in Jack's show yesterday. I had a few hours. It was really nice to hang out and chat. And then I fired up the show. And about halfway through, I was like, well, where's Mr. Westport? I was like, oh, man, I hope he ain't pissed because I was in Jack's show today and I haven't been in his show.
No.
Please tell me he's not mad. But then I seen you later in the show and I was like, yes, there's Mr. Westport.
I was figuring it would be 11:30. So when I got on at 11:30, I was just like, damn, they've been going for 2 hours already. But yeah, I did. I trimmed in the background last night. Last night I was trimming, but tonight I'm just like, you know what? I'm blowing it off. I want to hang with my homie Eagle.
Hey, do you ever call your like morning routine combing the hair? Do you ever call that comb gel?
No, but I should. That's awesome. I do.
I'm gonna have to say no comment because I have no hair, but
right. Oh shit. I do get that flashback, and I don't know if people still watch the Brady Bunch, but I get the flashback of the Brady Bunch show where it's Marcia just like obsessively sitting there like combing her hair, just like getting more psycho and psycho with each stroke. Sometimes I feel like that.
You'd figure that'd be Jan behavior.
Yeah, maybe it was Jan. I don't know. No, I think it was Marcia. But that was a great show.
It might have been Mandela.
Yeah.
Who's Marcia? You mean Martha? It was Martha.
Martha Stewart. All I know is Sam was giving the meat to Alice. But those shows, man. Sure. Gilligan's Island. Are you guys big on Gilligan's Island at all?
I was kind of a Munsters fan.
Yeah. It's just something about sometimes the older shows. It's almost like I say 80s movies, like don't try to think about it, just let it happen and you'll enjoy it. Some of those older shows they're just so like campy and cheesy that it's almost fun to like turn off the cynical brain for a minute and just like live in that world of just goofiness. I like some of those older shows like that.
I was in another world in another time period for comedy not too long ago. Got in a comedy wormhole and stuff 15, 25 years ago. Very politically incorrect. Not woke
Eddie
at
Murphy.
all.
Yeah, watch Eddie Murphy Raw or Delirious.
I was watching Kingpin, and you turn left, you turn right. Bill Murray's smacking this girl's ass, smacking that girl's ass.
Yeah, well, that does kind of give you a good example, though, of how the public consciousness kind of progresses and evolves over time. It's always, I forget who says it, a really famous dude, but it's like the long arc of history is always on the side of good. You might not see immediate results. You might not see the things that you want to have happen, even sometimes in your lifetime. But overall, the arc of good and the arc of just kind of like acceptance or whatever, it seems to come around. And yeah, Eddie Murphy, I'm pretty damn sure he would not repeat those comedy sketches, which are freaking hilarious, by the way. So I'm not going to say they're not. They're freaking hilarious. But yeah, I don't think he'd be repeating those sets anytime soon.
There's one that you guys, well, I don't know, Miss Westport, you may or may not remember. Red Pill. I'm gonna just throw you.
Yeah, just count me out.
Probably not. Probably not. I'm just gonna call you out here. Probably not. All in the Family.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't old enough to like watch it like all the time, but I definitely remember that show. And that show was terribly funny, but terribly politically incorrect. You would never air that today. No way.
Just signs of the times.
With all that said, they did make like a spoof bring back of that.
Did they?
Do you think?
Yeah.
Didn't last too long, did it?
No, it was painful to watch.
Do you think you could do like a redo of like Gilligan's Island? Chad brought up there. Yeah. Do you think you could do like a redo?
That's a timeless classic. Anyone can get lost at sea anytime. You can always reboot that.
But this is the twist. Gilligan finds seeds in his pocket and they have cannabis throughout their whole set. How much do you think that would change the show? Whole new outlook on it. It'd change everything. Season 2.
Would it always be like one of those little, like in every episode, it happens 5 seconds and it's like, where did Gilligan go? In the pot field, Gilligan, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that would work. Dabbing or something like that. Gilligan. You just see him just fucking dabbing it.
Lighting up a bowl.
He used
just think the professor could even invent dabs.
Oh yeah, they come back. It's like, hey, the professor and Gilligan have been gone a pretty long time. Maybe we should go check on them. And they got the distillate flask and all that shit going.
They're in the cave.
Where did all that come from? They didn't bring that on the boat with them.
I could almost see him doing the using the last of like the gasoline or the ethanol they produce from coconuts on the island to start their signal fire, loading that into a torch and smoking all the dabs, coming out at the end of the episode. Plane flies over.
They make closed loops out of food cans and boat scraps.
They got the coconut to grow some good bud. They got coconut oil to infuse the cannabis with. They can feed the plant with the coconut water, the mother milk. Oh, it's endless. It could happen. I don't know why they weren't smoking.
And then there's an episode at the end where rescue finally shows up and then they're all just too stoned to even realize it. And then they just say, hey, maybe they're fine.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of college kids out having a party.
Happens
I like where Justin Bean and Chad's going with this. I think if they would have had cannabis, they would have fucking stoner engineered their way off the fucking island in no time.
Made a
fucking
cannabis
science that shit right off. Yep. doubts.
Hemp sales. Shit, they could have made a whole fucking boat.
There you go. Gilligan needed cannabis. And actually, Eagle, that would be a pretty funny remake if they did that show, but did toss in something like that and have it on like an Adult Swim or one of those channels.
It's just funny because it's the 21st century. Everyone has an iPhone that doesn't work, and they're like, "What the hell is this good for?"
Yeah, I'm kind of bitter on Apple right now. I just bought my first non-iPhone ever the other day. So I've been an Apple user for ever since like the late 90s, because in the 90s and so on, in order to do any sort of audio production or video production, you had to have an Apple. Like there was no question. The Apple was almost specifically tailored to that sort of user, and PCs weren't there. Obviously, over the course of 20, 30 years, they've caught up and everything's equal, but I've remained so loyal to Apple just because it always worked. And I've been having issues lately, and just the response from the company is totally like when Steve Jobs died, I swear, like the Apple that everybody used to know died with it. So
The apple
kinda
fell
like,
far from the tree.
yeah, dude, I'm like, fuck Apple right now. So I bought I don't even know what kind of Samsung. I don't even know what kind of phone. All I know is it's not Apple.
If you were gonna fuck a fruit, I wouldn't suggest an apple.
No, there's better ones out there. I mean, I've experimented in this range, and pineapples have the length and the girth, but you also have the outside that you got to be careful of. There's some other fruits that have kind of like pokies.
Prickly pear.
There you go. I like the star fruit myself.
Makes you feel like a star.
Yeah, just to clarify, I've never had relations with fruit. So, in case anybody wondered.
I'm not commenting, seeing I'm half naked on this end, so I am not commenting on any of the.
Although that reminds me of a funny, well, God, I don't know. Hopefully it's funny to you guys too. But growing up, I had this really good friend, Lindsay, awesome person, still talk to her. And she had this boyfriend, Bill, and they'd always have this inside joke. They're like, we're like, so, what are you guys doing tonight? They're like, I don't know, a little run from the bull, And I didn't know what that was, but I don't even know why I'm telling this story. It's bad. Anyways.
Keep
I'm
going.
not going to finish it.
No.
Finish
now
it.
I'm just thinking what that could lead to.
Well, I don't know. Apparently he put food items on his wing and chased her around the room. And that's
all right. Yeah, you didn't have to finish it.
Yeah. Sometimes when you get started on a good memory, you realize you're like, oh yeah, that's why I never tell.
That was a bad memory.
Oh, a lot of stories from that house. She had a younger brother who, in his freshman year of high school, put out flyers that his parents were out of town and were going to have a party. Dumb. And they had a bunch of property and a big like horse barn and stuff and kegs, and like being the older sister and us being the older people, like ahead of time, we're like, okay, we can't stop 1,000 people from showing up, but we can protect the house. So that's basically what we did. Like we controlled the perimeter of the house all day or all night and made sure nothing happened. A lot of people from other schools afterwards knew me as the asshole with the golf club. But yeah, man, when you're a freshman, don't put out flyers that your parents are gone and you're having a kegger. Bad things happen.
I would think. It'd be kind of funny to see you on lots of that instant though, walk around the house. Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out! This isn't a party.
Yeah.
Don't make me pull out my 9 iron.
Well, somehow, like some guy like managed to get in the house somehow, and like the bathroom door by the back door was closed. So I was kind of like, what the fuck? I like ripped the door open. Some dude's dropping a deuce right there. I'm just all, finish up and get the fuck out. I was a little brave though. I was you know, I wasn't always the biggest guy, but a couple of our other friends were there and they were on the wrestling team. And I'm like, okay, I know if I'm getting whooped, they're going to come in and fucking mop up for me. So my mouth worked that night. It was good. Nothing happened to the house.
I'm imagining Chad walking around with the Thug Life shades on.
No, I was, yeah, I was a little less agreeable with people when I was younger, but that's okay. It worked out for me in the end. What are you smoking
It's
on tonight, Renfield?
definitely
got a-
hard to picture Chad as
Hold on, I'll
with,
show you.
you're always so positive. It'd be hard. It's hard to picture you with having a bad demeanor there. I just can't do it. I just don't see it. I just don't see it.
No. Well, thank you, Eagle. It's you know, I was kind of trying to think of those things the other day. I was, you know, just not feeling well and just having those moments, and it's kind of funny, not funny, thankful though, that like all of the like horrible shit and like struggle in life has led to a positive disposition, because I know there's a lot of things that it's not going to kill me, it's not important, and there's other things that I enjoy more. It's just, I don't know, life is what you make it. It can be heaven or it can be hell. So for all of the shit that I've gone through in life, I've been thankful that I'm here. I mean, that's really it. Like, dude, lucky to be here. So why not be happy? Make the most of your time.
Very wise words. Very wise.
And with that, I'm gonna eat a
So
fresh
I'm getting
baked
ready.
cookie.
Ooh, medicated?
No, I didn't think that far. I was like, oh, Eagle's coming on in half hour. I better throw some cookies in there and have something to munch.
I'm gonna roll up some Mr. Tights or Empire Breeding Co. I should say. 6-shooter. Man, I am really liking that stuff right now. Really, really liking the 6-shooter.
What kind of profile does it have on it? Like a taste or a stone?
Well, it's gassy. It's got a nice gas to it. It's got a heavy stone to it, man. Even as uplifting as it is, it's still that fucking really foggy. What the fuck am I doing? Kind of high, but you're like doing circles type fucking high. But it's got like a citrus kind of gas. It's not orange, but a citrus. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's definitely not an orange, but more of a, I don't know, maybe a rind or a zest, maybe
That's
hint to it.
a good word. That's probably what I was thinking of, more of that like kind of like sharp bite of a citrus, but you can still have that sharp bite without being orange.
Definitely good. Definitely good. Lexi don't like that shit, man. I smoked one with her the other day, and she's like, "What was that?" It's funny because she's learning her way through the strains. Because now, anytime I ask her if she wants to smoke, she's like, "What's it do? What is it? What's it do?" Fair
Good
enough,
question.
right? But now there's certain strains. She's like, "Yeah, I don't want to. That shit gets me too high. I don't want to smoke that shit." And that 6-shooter is one of them. She's like, you ain't getting me with that. I'm like, all right.
That's always a good sign though. Know your limits, but yeah, sometimes there are some strains that are not too strong, but I also kind of like to I'll like describe myself as a sipper. I kind of like to just slowly take a toke every 10-15 minutes or whatever. I don't exactly sit there and like take shots. So sometimes when you get something that's like so strong after 2 hits, you're like done. Sometimes I'm kind of like, yeah, I should have tried the Bud Light.
I wish I could agree with you, but I guess, the prize fighter smoker. I started that thing, and I'm committed. I'm gonna try until it knocks me out.
Of course, if it was in joint form, though, I would have to finish it. I'm not one to put the joints out. So yeah, there have been times after work at the dispensary, we'd always have safety meetings, and we'd always wind up getting like an infused joint and walking around the block after work. And there are a couple times where everybody like had brought an infused joint, so it's basically as soon as you hit it, you're passing it and taking another one. Got to finish them though. You can't waste those things. There's sober
Love
children.
those sessions.
Yeah, there's sober children in Arkansas. They would love a joint, so don't waste your joints.
Don't you though? Almost like when there's more joints than people, so you're kind of like being rushed throughout the whole thing. Hurry up! He's got two. He's got two. Skip it.
It's so good. Where every breath is actually like a toke, just poop, poop, poop.
Good sessions there. Red Pill, you're muted, brother.
Yeah.
I was wondering why we hadn't heard from Red Pill. I'm like, man, he ain't saying shit over there.
I could have swore I hit the unmute button right before that last dab. Must have touched the screen and not actually hit it hard enough. I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. All I said was that it's probably why I have a dab tolerance, because of all the blunts I used to chain smoke.
Yeah.
You could have a high tolerance from all them fucking dabs you do, brother.
It could be the dabs.
Yeah, probably a little bit to that, because it definitely was, I won't say like starting from scratch and building a tolerance to it, but it did slowly convert and then made like a fast jump to just only smoking dabs for a long time. And when I did that, yeah, there was a lot of dab naps being taken and a lot of good experiences too. Like I'm still a child, I guess, but back then I even was more of a child, 23 at the time, basically when I switched to just dabs. So, or flower when, I don't know, I wouldn't say 100% all the time, as in like I'm a dab vegan, I don't smoke flower, but I found it more accessible to get better dabs than better flower. So,
Well, wasn't it you who told me, like, dude, I don't smoke pre-run?
yeah, I don't know if I said that, but I do remember that is one of my favorite cannabis memes.
Yeah,
is,
it was in a joking sense, but yeah, I was like, oh, that's cold, man.
when you say that the pre-run, that makes me think of how much people would hate when you would call nugs pre-run. Yeah. And there was a meme, it's the John Goodman and the Big Lebowski, where he pulls out his gun and it says, if someone calls Bud pre-run one more time.
I actually watched that movie again last night for the first time in years because I was trimming. It was like one of the top Netflix suggestions. I'm like, fuck it. I haven't watched The Big Lebowski for a long time. And I forgot how great that movie is. Like that movie kind of started my love of the Coen brothers, but just the way that they shot it and just, there's so many elements of that movie that are just awesome. Like I understand why I made that like one of my top movies of all time now. You've seen it though, right?
Yep, for sure. I'm due for a rewatch. I haven't watched it in a while, maybe a couple years. Definitely not last night.
Which movie?
What was the most recent movie?
What's that, Eagle?
I was asking which movie? The Big Lebowski? Is that the way we're done?
Yeah, Big Lebowski.
Good one. I think one of my top favorites is, of course, Office Space. Office Space.
So yeah. I was thinking of that, and there's a few movies that maybe because I watched them so many times, and as a child on VHS, I memorized all the words to it, and that's definitely Dumb and Dumber, Tommy Boy, and Kingpin. So
yeah. See Comfortably Numb in the chat. Mind if I do one? He walks into the mansion, she's like, mind if I do a J? I have definitely pulled that line in people's house before. And then there's the scene, like I was really high when I did this and I didn't think it through and I felt kind of bad afterwards. But the scene where like he's in the sheriff's office and he's just holding his coffee cup and he says something and he's just like, "Douche," throws the coffee cup and it hits him like square in the forehead. I did that to a buddy once. It was funny till he started bleeding.
Ooh,
Sounds painful.
don't use your eagle mug.
Painful. Yeah, don't use your eagle mug.
It was a short distance. Like we were within like 2, maybe 3 feet of each other. So I'm like, okay, it's not going to get a whole bunch of momentum behind it. It's more going to be like a love tap. But I underestimated the flat surface versus the edge of the cup scenario.
Mhm.
And he caught the edge of the cup.
Yeah.
It's-
Did they do any damage to the mug?
No, no damage to the mug, and the liquids were gone. So as far as I was concerned, it was hilarious.
6 stitches later.
Yeah, no. It wasn't anything that another bowl in 10 minutes couldn't smooth over.
Mhm. The big Band-Aid
That's
tape
good
your
for
forehead.
That's a good friend if you can smack him with a coffee cup and burn with him a few minutes later.
Oh yeah. We always found inventive ways to get even with each other. This was Northern California around like 2000 when I was living up in Santa Rosa, actually, which is blowing up with the cannabis scene. And actually,
Never been to Cali. Never been
Neither.
there. I'd love to go at some point.
yeah, that fire that hit there when Subcool was there, I drove over that hill and over through those neighborhoods basically every day to get to work at the skate shop. So I'm like, fuck, I know exactly where that area is. I know exactly where it stopped. And it's weird seeing devastation like that because you're not typically firsthand experience to it. You'll see it in the news, you'll see how it looks, you hear the stories, it's bad, but when you can actually be like, oh shit, yeah, I remember where the hell is that? So I don't know, it was a little weird, but that was in Santa Rosa too.
I've lost my roller. I lost my roller.
You use a
Good
roller?
night to hand roll.
Okay.
I do. I can't hand roll. I can't hand roll. But I've at one point when I was hand rolling all my joints, I don't know what happened, but it's like this. It almost overnight. Paper stopped sticking out. Paper stopped sticking out, and then I found, I started using a roller, and I noticed that every time they'd stick. Every time they stick. Same pack to this day, practically. I can roll out of the same pack 100 joints out of that 300 pack and roll it. Not one will come undone. First hand roll one, second one maybe, halfway through, coming undone. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I don't know what to tell you either because I still need a dollar bill to roll a joint. Or what I do sometimes is I'll take like my Sharpie and then I'll like wrap my paper around it and then I'll take the paper off, put in my little filter and then stuff it. I have to cheat.
I would like to get a poll from you guys and the chat because I have nostalgia for blunts, and when I do enjoy flower, it's one of my like first ways of thinking about how to do it, other than like a beaker bottom bong. But I just wonder if anyone still enjoys smoking blunts, or if that's particular the way that you still do medicate or recreate.
I don't
I'm-
smoke a lot of joints or blunts anymore. I certainly wouldn't turn one away. And when I actually do roll a joint, it looks more like a blunt. It's just not in the tobacco paper.
Mhm.
I remember reading years ago that it's probably a stupid Leafly article, but it's like, what's the most efficient way to get the most THC out of your smoking. And they compared like bongs and blunts and all this stuff. And it was like joints were one of the least effective ways for THC delivery because the heat is actually like it was burning it off or it was changing it before you actually inhaled it. Something to that effect. Again, it was one of those weird, like, I need to write a blog post articles probably, but I don't know. Inside, when I smoke joints, there's so much residual smoke or excess smoke that it just smokes out the room too much for me because I have animals in the house too. So, I'll smoke in here on my pipe. And, we could take care of the smoke with windows and all of that stuff. But if I'm smoking on a joint, things get pretty damn smoky in the house pretty quick. Usually we'll smoke those outside sometimes. We used to smoke those outside on the beach all the time, roll a joint, go to the beach. But now with vape pens, it's like, it's more discreet and the wind doesn't smoke half of it for you.
Well, what kicked me off is I was telling Eagle before I came on here, I was watching old Survivor Man. And one of the things I saw was improvised tools that I used for survival and like fire bundles or how to make little sacks of fire and travel. So you don't have to maybe use, a finite amount of matches or other improvised things. And he was like, hey, one of the best fire bundles happens to be a cigar. And I'm like, oh, cigar. Well, in my case, that's going to be a blunt. But now I thought, hey, why not have a few pre-rolled blunts? I just keep saying blunt, and I do, and picture that as a tobacco wrap because, like I said, nostalgia, and that's what we got. Even the ones that were already filled with tobacco, and you split it out, dump it out, then roll it. So that's just my definition of the word blunt. But yeah, now there's way more ways of looking at it with different types of papers, all hemp papers or non-tobacco papers. You remember the clear papers?
Yeah, like those rice papers. I do always keep a few good cigars though. Good cigars are important.
All right. I don't know. I'd have to acquire it because other than experimental times on pharmaceutical uppers like Vyvanse and Adderall, were the only times I had callings to smoke cigarettes. So.
Yeah. Well, nicotine isn't anything that you really need in your life. So if you can keep it out of your life, you're probably better for it. As a person who smokes for 30 something years.
I'm with you. I roll blunt sized joints. I actually have a roller that rolls them. Again with the roller. But I don't prefer the tobacco. But with that being said, I wouldn't turn it down. If I'm in a crowd, whatever, somebody passes me a blunt, I'm surely going to hit it. I'm not going to be like, oh, it's flagged up. Like, yeah. So I'm not impartial, but not my first.
Right. Well, we were highly influenced by rap music. I remember, we're younger, and the Dr. Dre video, I think it was the Let It Ride video, but they like opened the fridge and it's stacked like a pyramid with 40s. Like that was our goal in life, was to have a party and stack a fridge like that. And we got it close a few times, but that's a lot of 40s. But I was going there with that because being influenced by them, it was always like Swishers. It was usually Swisher blunts. It was never, the flavors hadn't come around yet. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was just like Swishers. And then I knew this dude, so he was, so him and his cousin, they were biracial, and they had a rap group called Black and Mild. And there was also those like cigars, Black and Milds. So then I smoked a lot of the Black and Milds. And then eventually went to Backwoods. When I moved to Northern California, I lived with this hippie chick for a while who sold shit. And that was a whole nother story, but she always rolled with Backwoods. So I was like, all right. Those were actually one that were fairly easy to like unroll and to roll back and keep it like one solid leaf still.
And see, when I was on the more traditional cigarillo ones for the longest time, and only wanted to try Backwoods because I wanted to see what the fuss was about. And it was totally alien to me. And I went right back to, at this time, well, the staple at that time was actually White Owls when they came out with a 2-for-1 and a foil pack. And then that would be like if we wanted a flavored blunt wrap. We had a whole, protocol for if it's good weed, we'll do it in the less, robust flavors. Like we would do the white grape because that was the most mildest of all the flavors that you'd get. So you taste the weed through it the most. And then if it wasn't that great weed, fuck it, we'll get peach or strawberry. Yeah. But then if it was good weed and we wanted the blunt to last a longer time, we would get Garcia Vegas. So
Garcia Vegas, okay.
And that had like a green leaf, double, it was regular cigarillo paper and then had green leaf outside. And then that was all about, and here's the other struggle about blunts. You got to find out where the best places are, and you got to find out what the type of cigarillos or blunts that people smoke in that neighborhood buy. Like if it was Swisher Sweets, or it was Phillies, or if it was Optimos, you go to a store and be like, oh, I want to try Optimos. And then it's the most driest, crumbliest thing because no one there has bought a pack of those fucking things in 2 years or something like that.
It's been sitting on the shelf the whole time.
Yeah, that's why we had the rush and we would get the fresh drops of the White Owls because not only were they foil packs, and we kept increasing the price. They kept price gouging us because how fast we would go there and buy it up. They brought it to $2 for $1. And then at the point where we were like, fuck buying these wraps. And that's when we went more to glass and bongs and rigs and that kind of stuff. They're marking it up to $2.50 for 2 of them.
Damn. Probably putting half of that in their pocket.
Well, that, like I said, the influence of the rap, that was pretty much our conventional way or favorite way to, consume riding around, rap music, hot boxing, blunts. And that was the whole other thing, learning what like parking lots you could get away with doing it, learning the best places in different neighborhoods you can get away with doing it. I miss those days. I said nostalgia. It's like the origins of where it started,
Yeah. Well, you brought one back for me, Phillies, man. I can't believe I forgot about that. But the Phillies blunt, yeah, that one was like sang about. And they made T-shirts about it. But Phillies, yeah, Phillies blunts. I never really smoked that brand, but when you said it, I was like, oh, I can see the wrapping.
Those were the less seldom ones, and there was only one place that had really fresh ones, and they never had a really big flavor selection because, like I said, it was like exclusive. That was where you go to buy the Philly wraps. People would, basically be like me and my buddies for the White Owls at the other gas station down the street. But my favorite one to grab was the sour apple in the tube because they would actually have like doob tubes, but Philly tubes. So they'd have like the hard plastic tubes and all the different flavors. My particular favorite one to go for was sour apple because it was completely alien. Said Swisher Sweets, White Owls, Optimos, maybe a couple other ones I'm not thinking of. They always had the same flavors, and I learned that certain regions of the country have certain flavors sent out to them because we got so into what we wanted is to order, pallets of fucking blunts. So we just looked up, the wholesale and where to get them from White Owl and shit like that. And we learned like in our Midwest, we got the white grape, the peach, and the strawberry. And then like down south, they had like wild apple, blackberry, and golden apple, and like and pineapple. Like, not pineapple, I want the fucking wild apple. So never went through with an order about that. Never wanted those to go through order that bad, but looked it up for sure.
It is interesting how regionally there are different tastes, and you totally see that with cannabis too. Like there's some things that just crush it in the California market, but on the the East Coast market, it's still all like sour diesel and haze. So there definitely is a regionality to the tastes and to different blunt wraps. I never really got into the flavors. They make I was mentioning earlier the infused joints. And I don't know if that's a product they have there, but it's basically just, it's your regular joint, but they infuse it with distillate. And a lot of times that distillate will be flavored. So you're like, oh, I want the sour apple, or I want the blueberry, or there's even a bubblegum one. And you hit it and you're not even tasting the weed in there. It's all that distillate. So it gets you super, super high, but it's also super flavorful without like the blunt wrap too.
I also remember people that they would, try to take, I wouldn't say take, they're trying to capitalize on, well, that even sounds fucked up. Anywho, people were taking buds that weren't like the obviously most bag appeal prettiest ones. And then they'd get whatever kind of non-stable oil they could get, and then whatever kind of crumbly
Mm-hmm.
oil or concentrate they would get, and make, pretty decent or, average or above grade moon rocks. And there has to be people out there, and I just haven't searched for it or seen it presented to me. But I always wanted to make moon rocks with a little bit nicer quality flour, especially ones that are shaped and like the way that the crevices and the actual bud formation is. One strain that there's other strains that do this, but the one that I remember the most happened to be Afgui, or I've had an Afghan Kush that was similar, but it had like the smoothest exterior of a bud. Like there wasn't many nooks and crannies and all that kind of shit to it. So my theory was to find those like weird little spade strawberry shaped nugs, then use what we're talking about, like a clear or distillate or maybe terpene enhanced, doesn't really have to be if the flour is good already. But then outer layer coating it with like a fine powdered like isolate, right?
Okay.
And repeating the process almost like when you make battered, deep fried things, go back into the oil and then roll it over with like larger diamond size,
Yeah, bro.
pieces.
You're creating the atomic bud there.
What I'm thinking is though, it would actually look like a literal moon rock or like a gemstone with like, like a rough quartz or diamond or other gemstones where you got the minerals deposit around it, and then just like the little shears or poking out spots of the actual emeralds or that kind of shit. It would be true to its name. It would look like something that you would picked up off the moon, allegedly.
With the moon rocks though, like you almost have to make them, or like to get my money, you almost have to make them like the perfect bowl size. I don't want like the big one that I have to break up. Even though it's sexy, it's like when you break it up, it's like you're losing stuff. It just loses this magic. There was a company here that kind of like actually caught on to that. And everything was just like the perfect little moon rock. They called them pebbles, actually. They're moon pebbles. But they were just the perfect amount. You load in your pipe, you load in your bowl, you just freaking hit it hard, snap it down, and to the moon.
But that points out, like I said, the attention to detail with the nugs that you're starting off with, because that is a big element to it. You can't really do it with larfy nugs that are airy and still on a stick. You got to have those strawberry shaped pebble nugs.
It was a lot of the popcorn stuff off the bottom of the plant. Like I tell you what, man, when you have a legal market, they get really creative on how to sell their trash.
Right. That's why I said I didn't, that with the taking advantage or capitalizing on it. Like that's where it kind of started. They're like, what's our best way of selling the fucking larf?
Oh, dude, there's companies that their whole business, and they do well because joints and pre-rolls are always a top seller pretty much in every state that has a legal market. The fucking swag or whatever in the bag from the trim machines, they roll that into joints and sell them. And they sell. I mean, granted, you can buy a joint in the store for $1. The decent ones are $5. And that's a full gram decent flour joint. But yeah, there's a lot of $1, $2 joints out there that people will just buy consistently, ridiculously. We had one guy that would come in every night for a $1 joint. It's like, why don't you buy 2 and save yourself the gas? I don't know. He was a cool dude, so I enjoyed him. But he was always one of those people that would come in like you close at 10, and he'd always be there at 9:56. I liked him though. He was a cool dude. But yeah, he was a dollar joint guy.
What another thing I always thought of. Oh, go ahead, Eagle. My bad. There's 3 people here.
I was just gonna say it's tougher to do when you can't see them right. I was just gonna say that was kind of in practice here. for a long time, Chad. The fucking bottom of the bags, bottom of the jars, those were pre-rolls in the medical market for the longest time. I honestly think they still are. They, do divvying up, a pound and fucking, shake. All right, that's pre-rolls. Put them on the menu. I've never got anything from a local dispensary provisioning center here that I went, wow, this is good. Not once. Not once. Not once. Not once. Never. I've seen them at one point. They were selling shake in Flint dispensaries for $7 a gram. $7 a gram.
Yeah, no, Colorado was doing that.
Shake.
That's a lot of money.
60 or 80 bucks for an ounce.
Yeah, I mean, you can get a flower ounce here for $50. It might have a little taste. It's probably not going to taste like crap. It's outdoor grown. It's not trimmed the best, but you can still get a $50 ounce. And it's funny because I'd usually be the guy at the store too, because we'd always, we'd get tips, tip your bud tender. Like, it's amazing how far that money goes. And we'd always get samples. So usually, at the end of the night, they'd be like, all right, you got like $22 in tips. I'm like, I try a lot of the cheap shit just so I could try it, just to have some opinion on it other than it's garbage. I see Comfortably Numb. He's like, what does a dollar joint even look like? It's regular full gram joint, man. I mean, they look normal. It's just what's in it that sucks. I always want to go for the full bud joints or the flower joints, but yeah, some people just broke them up. They're usually not rolled the best. So I've even had people, they're just like, yeah, I usually just like break it up and unroll it into 2 little joints, and then I'll smoke that. So I guess there are such a thing as a 50-cent joint.
And then there's people buying $80 grams of rosin.
Yeah.
So I was gonna ask, is that $50 an ounce? Is that even medical grade? I mean, would it even be worthy of making, like, say, RSO?
Yeah,
it depends how bad you're struggling, but I'd say I want to give a little bit more seriousness when we do consider it medical and go the full measure to actually providing medicine. I hate when there's like, well, there's 4 different kinds of concentrates, and here's the really nice golden stuff for $50 a gram, and oh, you only got $15. Here's a black tar looking shit, but it passed all the tests and it's fine. So I wish it was more like medical means high grade, like the highest grade, to me.
And that's so.
If you want recreational, then you can do gravity bongs or shake weed. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's really true, though. I mean, there is a difference between the two. You have your $50 ounce and that $50 ounce, and then you have that really like top shelf quarter ounce that you take 2 hits of and you're medicated, you're good. That's probably actually going to last you longer than that $50 ounce. That's a lot of the stuff about like some of the cheaper stuff I found is it doesn't pack the same high. I don't know if they kind of shake it or harvest trichomes beforehand, or if it was just really not a good grow. But yeah, it's all, almost, it's not shake, but how shake gets you stoned for like 10-20 minutes and you're like, I need to smoke a bowl. A lot of the cheaper stuff in those $50 ounces are kind of like that. It'll get you stoned, but sooner than later you're like, oh, I want another bowl.
Which would, to me, that says inferior medicine. If that was all that someone had and they really needed to treat something serious.
Yeah, but if it fit into their budget, that's the thing.
It's budget thing, and then that's where people are supposed to like look after people and say, well, I know you don't have the budget for this, but I'm still going to hook you up with it anyways. You can't really do that.
People can't do that in the legal market. That's the unfortunate side effect of it. It's like I can do that all day long myself, and I will if I have it. But that's also kind of why I wanted to smoke some of the cheaper shit too. It's just like I want to be able to tell these people who are coming in here, like, legitimately needing relief of like, dude, like honestly, spend the $2 extra a gram and get this. Or there were times where there's some companies here that they'll have their A brand, their B brand, and their C brand. Well, sometimes that A brand weed gets put into the B or the C packaging for one reason or another. And there are a few times where I bought that cheap ounce and been like, holy shit, they accidentally put the wrong stuff in. So I tell everybody to buy that. Hi, Smiley.
What's up, man? You guys are a bunch of snobs. So you act like you forget about the days when you were trying to score the
Oh my
fucking
God, you're late. No, you're late. I just talked
brick
about
weed that
smoking
you had to
Mexican.
pick.
Yeah,
the
I just
seeds
talked
and
about
stems.
smoking Mexican brickweed and blunt.
Bro, I grew up in the Pacific
Trying to-
Northwest. I don't know what brickweed is.
Yeah, I'm not the snobs. Chad is. Chad's snob. I'm just joking.
I just want to point
When
out,
you
you
can't
guys
store the
scoffed
bag,
at
you
me
gotta-
for rolling my roaches, much less talking about fucking that kind of weed back then. I won't even waste now. It's-
What has more medical
rolling
value,
roaches.
brickweed or shake from a dispensary?
So come on though. Let's be real though. This happens now because we do know and grow and appreciate good weed. You have turned down weed in the last year though, haven't you? You've been like, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I
that's why I'm
definitely have.
here with a jar of distillate.
I walked into the dispensary the other day because it was on my way home. I was just like, I'll just pick up a gram. And I was actually looking for orange Skittles because that's a really good one. But I just kind of did a quick look at the counter and I'm like, no, I know it's all going to taste the same. I know it's all going to smell the same. I've got weed at home. I don't need a gram of something different today. And I just kind of like walked in, walked out.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
the joy of being able to be picky, right? Like, I don't know. So
yeah, that's the joy of the legal market.
It's like, I remember the time when you didn't have a choice. It was this or nothing. You know what I mean? And it was like,
Yeah,
if you had a choice, that was a good day, you know?
totally. Weed. It was called Got Some or Don't Got Some.
Yep.
Are you
No.
rolling anything tonight, Smiley?
I'm rolling up Skywalker right now.
Does that one actually really grow super tall? Tall and
Yeah,
lanky?
it's pretty. The one I have does. I don't know. It's been funky though. Like, I don't know. It's been a funky plant the whole time. It's definitely not an easy one. Not an easy grow one. It's not easy to clone. It's never happy. It's, I don't know. So
Is it something
that's
you're
why
gonna
I'm trying. I love the flavor though, so that's why I'm trying to breed with it, so I can hopefully find one that's not going to be all funky like that, and still bring some of that flavor.
Little,
We'll see.
Little Jack Skellington to the Skywalker, maybe.
Possibly, yeah. That would be in the books for it. So that's a little ways off yet, but I've already hit the. I had a high mac male that I ran to it, and I've got those seeds popped already, and I'm running those as testers right now to see. And then, what did I just move in there? Why am I drawing a blank on it? Oh, the Sky Cuddler Kush male is the next one that I'm going to breed it with, and then I have a Crippy OG male after that, so we'll see.
When you do that, do you have any other females you plan on putting in there along with it, or are you just going after that one right now?
No, I'll run different ones with it too, but I'm hoping I can have like that one, the Ghost OG, and the GG4, and all three of those runs, and the Purple Punch.
Did you make any of that? What was the first male? Oh, the high mac to Blue Line Pie.
I didn't do anything with the Blue Lime or the Raspberries, not yet anyway.
I'm excited. I'm gonna get a couple of those, the high punch. That's what I called it. The high mac, the purple punch. I'm gonna get those going here. So I'm
Yep, I
stoked.
got some going.
And I'm gonna toss in a couple Blue Miles too. So I'm like, yeah, it's the crew. It's the crew grow.
Hell yeah.
So
I know. It's cool, man. I got the Mendo Loco going from SoCal, and the Unicorn Breath going from Mystic Marks, and the Jack Skillington one going, of course. But Bingus just sent me one of his too, so I got a few different ones from the crew. It's cool.
it is, man. It's like I love my plants already, but it's even a little more special because it's like you almost like put the personalities onto the plants. So I'll be really excited with this room. It happens in about a week. I did most of my chopping the other day. There's still one in there waiting, but I want to obviously like sterilize my room. But I'm thinking of adding because I have two quantum board just white lights in there, and I have just the perfect space between them that I could put one of my old the Vipar Spectra, like the Blurple lights. They've been sitting in the closet. I haven't been using them, but I'm like, you know what? I have the space for it. It's an additional wattage. And I wonder if that offset of the white light with the addition of the blue and the red, if I'll actually get different responses or just a beefier plant. Because those spectrums seem to be absent from those quantum boards.
Yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's weird. I'm not gonna claim to be any expert. I'm still figuring all them out. So it's hard to say, man. I do think that spectrum makes a big difference, and there's a lot to that, you know.
And that's why we kind of almost have to, run by run, figure these things out. It sucks. I wish things can happen faster, but it really is. You have to do that trial.
Yeah, that's where having like a cut that you've had for a while too, and you kind of know what it does or whatever, or you get
Yeah,
a little
that's
pace on it. You know what I mean? At least ran it a few times and noticed something.
and I've always run things for a long time, like, at least 6 months, usually a year to 2 years. So I do get familiar and I'm able to judge that exactly like you're saying off of results. But yeah, I'm just going totally off the script. Like I'm stopping making seeds for now. I have some seeds I want to dedicate like all of my space to actually pheno hunting for probably like the next year, maybe. I've collected some pollen and I still have the male, and I'm gonna keep the male around just to collect pollen off of it continually. But I've usually just always put my male in with my females, and that's how I make my seeds. But yeah, I've been blessed lately. Like I said, I've got the Blue Mile from Bingus. I've got that High Mac and Purple Punch. So like I want to start pheno hunting and getting new flavors and just the excitement of modern genetics. Basically, like most of my genetics are stuck 10 years in the past when I had access to clones and seeds through the medical market here.
But
So
that's what
yeah.
everybody wants, and everybody wants some old cut.
Do you have any of those Washington exclusives? Those like Permafrost, the Purple Arrow, that shit?
I don't, but I have smoked that Purple Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, I do know a place to get that. But
Nice.
no, I haven't grown it myself though.
Huh. I haven't heard. I don't know all the legendary names or whatever. I know it's cool. There's all these little pockets of like, what was the one out east that they were talking about? Mother of all berries and stuff. It's kind of known in that area. And I think those are cool legends.
Yeah, we were talking earlier, like with blunt wraps, but also weed. It's so regional. Like certain areas, like the GMO, the unicorn poop, all that stuff blew up hard in Michigan. And then we kind of started to hear about it out here. And basically, by the time we were like, oh, GMO is like the new rage or something like that, you guys are like, dude, that shit's so 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's played out, but I'm just saying it was in your market a lot longer than before it got to us out here.
Oh, no doubt, man. There's some really great breeders here in Michigan. So there's a lot of fire. I'm just smirking because it used to. Oh, I mean, it predominantly probably still is, but a lot of the trends were coming from the West to Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So like, if you wanted to kind of being here in Michigan, if we wanted to kind of keep pace on where things might be going, we were always kind of looking to what was hot in the West Coast, you know. And then it always seemed like a year and a half, we'd kind of get that in our market too. So it's interesting to see you say that went the other way around a little bit. So I like it.
And I've had people try to steer me out of where I'm gonna get or try to pull genetics from in the future, but I'm still chasing strain dragons from stuff that I've had and then never locked down a clone of, you know. So things like cheese, it's an old strain. Even if I could get it like a cherry AK is a really old strain. Oh, go down, I don't know, old, you know, the 90s, early 2000s things like grapefruit crosses. There's one, a grapefruit Kush. It's a grapefruit clone crossed to Afghan Kush. That's something I'd really like to grow. But things that I gotta hope aren't unchanged. And if they are unchanged, like I've said before, it's only for the lack of people not being interested in it while they're still around, and not because they're played out. I think other people chase newer strains like we're talking about. And there's seed banks out there that you could call them up and be like, hey, what's the longest shit that you've had sitting in the vault? Like, hey, we got some Mr. Nice Black Widow from 2004. The last time we got a new batch of that. Like, ooh, I want that.
Yeah. Black Widow. I know it's like the same as White Widow, just different breeder. Actually kind of the same breeder. There was an argument over in Amsterdam about that one, but the Black Widow cut is fucking phenomenal, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same thing. Like people tell me like, why White Widows, you know, same thing, like played out. You don't want them. They're like, but I've had good White Widow before. So do I not want it? I liked it. I seem to enjoyed it. And that's where I'll bring full circle with the when I heard Hardy Gear describe people's attitude towards it, and he referenced the Joe Dirt movie, the Snakes and Sparklers guy. Like, oh, I get it. I'm just the Snakes and Sparklers guy. I like shit that no one else is even really interested in or even demanding.
Oh, but hey, if it's what works for you, ultimately that's what it's about. Finding your own medicine. I think one of the problems with White Widow is there are so many White Widows from so many different breeders with so many different parent plants that all have the name White Widow, that there is really no White Widow out there that we could all agree upon. And I think that happens with a lot of the older strains sometimes, particularly when it seems to be a lot of the like European or genetics from Spain. It's just kind of all washed into just a similar profile of everything.
Unless these people, which I don't find a situation where, you know, they're, you know, whatever, that confident with what they have, then I end up getting genetics I don't have to pay for. I'm still going to take that risk. I'm still going to buy packs of seeds from Big Buddha, like I was saying with the White Widow. Like, there's two origins of it if you want to break it down, and then it's the two places where supposedly you can get the original would be Mr. Nice and Greenhouse Seeds. One's a feminized version. One, they do have a feminized version, or regular seeds if you can get your hands on them. And then thing would be like that with cheese. Like, I know a lot of people get or have gotten feminized cheese seeds from Barney's farm, but why wouldn't you get them from Big Buddha if that's who originally put out cheese? So my thing with the Euro strains is it just takes a little bit more analysis and figuring out the actual, first off, the actual proper place to buy them and acquire them, and then actually grow them out and see if what you've had was what the seeds are that you're buying for. And it's either a total fucking crapshoot or you're going to get lucky. It's only two options. You're either going to be dissatisfied or totally satisfied.
That seems obvious.
Well, no, I mean, there's no middle ground.
Somewhat satisfied. No, in the middle of the road on that one.
It's either gonna rain today.
Satisfied, because put it this way, if you did buy cheese seeds and you found a pheno of cheese that you really like, but it had some other problems where it's hard, like you said with Skywalker, and it's like a pain in the ass to grow. That'd be a middle ground, like I'm saying, like, yeah, you found what you're looking for, but it's, you know, it's more hassle.
Yeah. So who originally cut the cheese?
Buddha's farm. Or,
Big Buddha,
no, I just mixed the two together. Damn it, Big Buddha.
Big Buddha.
Big Buddha Delta.
He dealt it and smelt
Yeah,
it.
he dealt it, and we all smell it.
Spikey's cracking me up in chat. He says I'm looking like Gandalf tonight.
Gandalf the White.
Chad the White.
That's hilarious. That's actually one I haven't heard yet. So I like that one, Spikey. Big ups. Hope you're doing well, buddy.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Gandalf. Shit.
No, he busts on the scene smoking a pipe, being like, "Bitch, I get here when I want to."
Right. I'll be back later. Fuck. Just wait for me.
Yeah. Gandalf's cool, man. We're cool.
That's like the funniest part of that movie is they were all about their pipe weed and shit. They fucking wanted to get stoned. The end of every battle, the hobbits are sitting there just getting stoned. Like, fuck yeah, we're getting baked, man.
Didn't Mr. Rogers smoke a pipe too sometimes?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
He did. And I want a Gandalf pipe, by the way, damn it. That's the only piece I don't have is a nice long Gandalf piece. I don't know why, but I've always wanted.
Spartan Grown has that wicked Gandalf piece. I always worry, like, I would find a way to break the stem by like turning and hitting something or whatnot. But if it was like a lot of people will just buy glass and put it on the shelf because it's beautiful. I would love to do that with one of the Gandalf pipes.
I feel like it's got to be one of the, like, a wooden pipe or something to be a real Gandalf pipe, though. I don't think he would have had a glass pipe, you know.
It has to be the antler from a mythical animal.
I wonder if you pulled up to like the Renaissance fair, if that's where you would find it.
Did they make aren't chillums traditionally made from a ram's horn?
Oh. Better press that through Kiva first.
I don't know.
Okay, well, the chillum in the chat.
It would seem possible, maybe. I don't know. Seem possible.
If we can make pipes out of apples, I'm sure they managed to find a way to make a pipe out of a bone.
Pretty sure they do somewhere.
Yeah.
Sounds like a Conan thing to say, though. The bone of my enemy. It's like from Conan.
Stabs them with it, flips it around, smokes a bowl.
Right? That would have been something for Arnold to do there.
Now I'm thinking of all that old comedy that I was watching. I was watching Crank Anchors, and Adam Carolla does Bertram, the Vietnam veteran. And things he goes on his little rant. He's always saying what he experienced over there is like, he smoked hash out of a human skull.
3 bases. Yay.
It'd be pretty heady.
I might pass on that, but I don't know, man. Seems pretty morbid.
Straight to the dome.
Right. The thigh bone was one thing, but the skull, come on now. That's crossing a line.
That was another one. It's like, made a bong from a thigh bone.
It's funny shit, man. Had my daughter's graduation tonight, so that set me way behind, but I was hustling to get here.
That's cool, man. How big of a class was it?
She actually, well, because she had my grandson, so she kind of was in the alternative school or whatever, so it was more like an online thing. There's probably 40 kids, something like that. So,
That's cool, man. I graduated from the alternative school. That actually turned like my life around because I got kicked out of the normal schools. I got kicked out of the other, like the off-campus school. And in order to stay at this alternative school, you had to have a B plus average. So you actually had to do your shit. You actually had to do it well, and you actually had to show up. But the year before I got there, Toyota, the car company, gave the school a grant, a $30,000 grant to buy music equipment. And there was a guy, Jeremiah Green. He's the drummer for Modest Mouse, and he was graduating that year. And I was in the music class, and I was in like a little band. I didn't know shit about it, but he's like, "Hey, kid, I'm gonna teach you how to use all this equipment so that Jim, who was the actual teacher, can learn how to use it the next year," because he had already been recording, he's done albums and all that stuff. So he taught me how to use that equipment. That sparked my interest. I went to audio engineering school. That led to a career, yada, yada, yada. But yeah, alternative school. It was great for me.
that's cool, man. Yeah. No, and I'm proud of her. She, obviously had a hurdle of getting pregnant as a teenager, but she owned it. You know what I mean? She put her mind to it, and she made it happen. And she's a great mom, and she graduated. And
Oh, yeah,
so
man.
she's not quite sure what now, but I don't know.
And that's fine. It's almost like naive to assume that a young person who just finished this is gonna know exactly what they're gonna want to do.
So I mean, it's good that there are kids that do. Like honestly, my nephew, man, he's like pretty amazing. He actually he's super smart, super intellectual smart, like theoretical physics smart, like. But he fucking graduated with a associate's degree in college because of all the AP classes he took and all this shit. He was class president, played basketball on their team or whatever. It was like he joined the ROTC program for the Air Force. So he's coming out here to Michigan State, and then through that program, whatever he's doing in the sciences, he's going to be part of that Space Force, the new.
What?
Yeah, like the new part of the Air Force. I don't know what division. I don't know if it's part of the Air Force or not, but it's like the new division of the armed forces, like whatever.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. And my brother's an officer in the Air Force, so he's got like all the lineups for the credentials that just boom be right into the officer programs because he's smart as shit, man. He's just like I said though, he was class president, all that, so he's super outgoing. He's athletic. He ran track and field, all that shit. So yeah.
I was almost gonna joke he's a rocket scientist, but he really is a rocket scientist almost.
Yeah. I could see him doing it, man. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't get to talk to him too much because they're out in New Mexico, but it'll be cool when he's living out here and get to see him a lot more and talk to him more. But yeah, so he's got his plan put together. So
some people know their direction already. Not everybody does, but some people do, and they just have that trajectory. And it sounds like he is, a very exceptional, driven person. And sometimes that's almost like unordinarily human, the amount of drive sometimes people can have. But that's
my brother is too, though. So fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. So, like I said, my brother's an officer in the Air Force too. He's been at it for quite a while. So,
and it's his kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, he had direction, but it's like anything. If your dad's a carpenter, you know what I'm saying? Like you a lot of times that's an interest to you or whatever, plumber, or maybe not so much plumber, but, but I mean, my dad was an auto mechanic, so yeah, I naturally fell into that. It was an easier thing. So.
Yeah, and a lot of times as kids too, it's like we kind of imitate what we see. and you know that's good, and that kind of sparks the interest because you know I'm sure you can have a conversation about cars, and that's not something that everybody gets to have, you know, and that can spark that special interest in it because you have that knowledge and you have the passion, and that's important, really.
Having
Passion.
somebody to show you, having somebody to teach you firsthand a trade is priceless, right? I mean,
I wish that would be encouraged more, and it is more in the school systems up here now, at least. I kind of liked how like Japan used to kind of have their school system set up. It was basically by like ninth grade, you kind of like, what are you really interested in? We're not going to fill you with 3 more years of like generic shit. We're going to kind of put you down the road to what you're interested in and do build the education around that. So, you know, if someone was more interested in like a trade, they might be getting into like physics classes or mechanics classes and just how things really actually work versus studying Shakespeare for 6 months.
yeah, but they're not going to be well-rounded then. They need to be well-rounded. That's what the colleges always say when they charge you for all the bullshit classes. You're like, what the fuck does this have to do with anything that I'm trying to do? But it's a requirement. Like, oh, okay.
One of the big ones that shocked me for my sustainable agriculture program, we had to do like, there were a couple elective classes we had to do, but one of the classes I had to take to pass that was I had to take coding to learn how to build a website, which I'm glad that it was there and I'm glad that I took it. But other than trying to build a website for your farm stand, what the fuck does coding have to do with sustainable agriculture?
Yeah, I don't know. What's up, Chicha?
Morning, guys.
Got your coffee?
Yes, I got my coffee.
Morning.
Morning.
That's cool.
Wrong one. Camera on.
Yeah, what's up?
Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1.
Right?
So you growing veggie garden too, Chad? Do you do a garden outside?
Yep. I do veggie beds outside. I reuse my soil. I amend my soil. I put all kinds of hippie shit in it.
Oh, yeah.
I do veggies, and I'm actually bummed I don't have more property because I'd love to set up like a hoop house. I'd love to get some like orchard crops. I'd love to have cherry trees.
Okay.
Ooh.
But
Oh shit. You got enough? You don't have enough property for that now, right? Or
no, right now I have a couple 3 by 6 foot beds. I have 2 of those for vegetables. Wife has 2 of them that she keeps really nice flowers in there. And I want to try to get peppers going this year. And I could still set up like a little hoop house or a hot house to get peppers. That's just a fun thing I want to try doing that I've never done actually before.
yeah, they do look cool. They're fairly simple to put together or whatever. And I'm all excited about my veggies this year. Like, I was laughing about that earlier because I'm out there looking at that garden just as much now, you know.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a while since I've grown some veggies, and I got a bunch of different shit growing. So everybody's wondering what the rutabagas are gonna look like. So, and have you ever eaten a rutabaga? Do you guys know a recipe for cooking a rutabaga?
I wish I did.
So yeah, we're gonna need one. If you guys come across one, that'd be great. You know?
It'd be great. Spaghetti.
I'll get right on that one.
I know. My girl's so mad. She's like talking about it. And I just kind of slid it in the list, you know. I was like, and I planted rutabagas. She's like, what's a rutabaga? I'm like, I don't fucking know. It's your job. You got to figure it out.
I'm just planting it.
I feel like I haven't heard that since I was a kid and my grandma talked about it. I think, to be honest with you, I think that's the last time I've heard of that.
It's some kind of a
Holy
cross
cow.
between like a turnip and a potato or something.
Right. I think you can make pies out of it. I don't know.
Yeah, we looked online and it was like a potato replacement. You could almost like make mashed potatoes out of it too, kind of thing. And
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna wing it. We're gonna find out about this.
I love it.
veggies is like microgreens 3 weeks, radishes 21 days, carrots they're like 55 to 70 days, but you can get through crops a whole lot faster and turn them over. It's almost like the in between cannabis growing is like out in the garden.
Yeah.
Just don't go from your.
Hey guys and girls, can you hear me?
There we go. Now we get you.
Yay.
What's going on, Spike?
Hey.
Mikey.
Just thought I'd pop in and say hello. It's been a long time since we last on.
Yeah. How you been?
I'm okay. Like just getting a bit better, but we carry on, don't we?
Yeah.
Smoke more weed.
You actually have some now, yeah?
Yeah, I've got my son brought me some. I've got some. I think it's cheese, to be honest. I think it is cheese, but I'm not too sure. It's
Jeez.
nice. It's nice.
Jeez, where's Blaze Daily when you need him?
He's
Jeez.
What you guys smoking on?
What
Big
am
jar of distillate.
Distillate.
Just refined THC. Maybe it's THC Delta 8. I don't even know it. But
Hey, Red Pill.
Mhm.
I've never talked to you.
no,
How are you doing?
so
How are you
first-
doing, you cool bugger?
I'm doing good. Good to meet you.
Yeah,
Glad to talk
pleased
to
to
you.
meet. Pleased to meet you. Pleased to meet you. It's good. It's good I can see your face and not looking at the ceiling, though.
Yeah. Well, we might have to go into that camera 2 zone because my phone might get a little low battery on us.
Yeah,
You pointed
no
up?
problem. Oh,
How does that work?
What was that?
I said if you point your camera up at the ceiling, you get better battery reception. How does that work?
Oh no, just my phone is resting on a jar of weed right now, and if I put the cord in, it drags it and makes it fall constantly. I'd have to prop it some other way.
Red Pill. You need to do what I do. I bought some Lego and made a phone holder out of Lego.
That's brilliant.
I know. That's
I might have
awesome.
my childhood Legos in the closet
I
somewhere.
love that.
Hell yeah.
That's like, we used to make all kinds of shit out of Legos. That's like
Yeah.
actual practical use stuff.
Oh, Lego's
We had,
fantastic.
like army
Okay.
Legos. You could build tanks and planes and all that shit.
And phone
I'm
holders.
50.
Phone holders.
I'm 50.
And phone
50.
holders.
I used to
I'm
do like
50.
engineering experiments with my Legos when I got older because we'd always have fireworks around. And so I'd basically like try to build a building in like a structurally sound way, but still load it with firecrackers and like be able to let it off and not have it blow apart. That was
Yeah.
a fun as a kid. All my Legos had like black powder burns on them.
Why not? Perfect.
Blowing shit up is cool, man, on the small scale.
Well,
Small.
I know you Americans like blowing things up.
Right. Coming up, man. 4th of July is coming up, Chad.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's soon. It's soon. Yeah, yeah. So what's Eagle doing on the 4th of July then? Are we having a 24-hour session or what?
No.
Oh no. No, no, Wait a minute.
Do you like the 4th of July though, Eagle? You were talking about that the other day. What if you do like a live stream of the fireworks? Have a little pyromania going.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome.
We better get some rain because I ain't lighting off shit up here, man. It is dry up here in this forest. Last 3 days in a row, we've had red flag warnings
Really?
every morning. Yeah, yeah.
Fucking been pouring down
I can't
rain
even think
here.
about burning anything up here. Oh,
You
I
didn't
got
get-
like 2 minutes of rain here
Hey,
today.
Green
2
13.
minutes and it thundered all day.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, we had rain.
Yeah, not so much here. It fucking poured for like a good few hours. It was like sunny, and then all of a sudden it was pouring down rain. So
It was pretty much overcast all day, but really it only rained about 2 minutes.
It was blazing sunshine again. My shit.
Ah, being 13.
Good morning.
What's up, dudes?
Cheers, man. Yeah, it was nice enough here today that I got out to mow the lawn, and that's always great, I guess. It needs to get done whether I want to do it or not.
Aren't you in NorCal?
Nope, I'm in Washington, but
Oh, okay.
we're a little bit cooler, a little bit wetter than Northern California. But yeah, so when we get the sun, we kind of worship it.
Yeah, I don't think
Yeah.
you get a bit of everything, don't you? You get some wet and cold, and
Yeah.
Mushrooms.
And being on the coast too, that is actually what helps it stay like really mild. There's not a huge fluctuation between summer and winter. And like I'm smiling, I've had lettuce growing all winter. So, you know, it's like there's a lot of things that I could keep going year round in my little.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Especially with
Oh, yeah.
a house or something.
I follow Dutch Blooms, and he's near you, then, isn't he?
Yeah. He's
Right.
a couple hours north of me.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I was trying to think
So
of the
if I
town I lived in.
Did I kill the conversation? Got all these people, and
We're all taken back
Okay.
by the accent. You and Spiky. You guys should just please recite the phone book and the dictionaries.
No, Green 13.
Spikey's.
Green 13's a Cockney, aren't you?
I'm South, yeah. And you're
Yeah, I
German,
know.
aren't you?
No, I come from northwest England near Blackpool, but I live in Germany. Weather's fantastic today.
I'm only teasing you. I know where you're from.
I know you are, mate. No problem. No problem.
Blackpool's a place.
A little north versus south in here.
Blackpool's like Vegas, but not really.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's not like Vegas. It's full of Scottish people. They all come down and get drunk.
Party town then or something.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like he would tear it up on a nightly basis and go out dancing, man. Or actually, Blaze Daily, we were talking the other day. He said all the restrictions are getting lifted over there, and he's like, "It's time to rave and dance." I was like, "Hell yeah!" I can't wait.
No one remembers how to do it anymore.
It's gonna
Well,
be a
what-
crazy summer, dude. People are gonna go nuts this summer.
Yeah.
They're like so pent up from last summer. It's like people are just gonna go nuts.
We're gonna go
Chicha.
hard this year.
Out partying last weekend, weren't you?
Me?
Chicha.
Hmm.
Were you out last weekend at a smoke up?
Oh, yeah, I went to the 420 Expo. Yeah, so that was fun.
Was
Yeah.
it? What was it like?
A lot of businesses. And Smiley, your brother-in-law, was there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met him, and yeah, it was pretty cool. It was different. I wasn't expecting that, I guess. I don't know.
I saw
What were you expecting? Less business, more
Yeah,
consumption.
yeah.
Was it
I don't know what actually, to tell you the truth, I don't even really know. I was just kind of like, well, let's go see it. Let's go check it out. But yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of
420.
lawyers.
Right.
A lot of business up front.
But I'll tell you what, everything you need, you need property or a building, you need a lawyer, you need dirt, you need a light, you need anything.
They're
Seeds, clone.
What about wax or like
Yeah.
or any of that there? Or
Dab tents.
edibles and
No.
all that? No.
No sharing. There was no None of that. No
No
partaking.
consumption. Yeah.
No
Those are the
consumption.
lame ones. Then you got to go to the ones.
I know. Hey,
any,
it was like
glass
it's
blowers on
there.
this
It's not
one?
that far.
You get all the freebie stuff. Like that's where you get all your fertilizer samples and shit.
Mhm.
From those.
Yeah,
Wax,
lots of freebies.
Yeah.
Modern.
Wow.
Hey,
What's up, brother?
What's up, guys? Cheers. Hey, I got my audio. Hang on.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Morning.
Yeah. Those are the lame ones. You gotta go to the ones.
Oh, someone has.
Okay. I'm sorry. What's up, guys?
What up, man?
What's everybody doing?
Much.
and then hey, Myron, we were just I was just saying I saw a picture of you and Chicha the other day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's cool.
We
Yeah.
get around.
I know. I'm just jealous. I'm hoping there'll be one day where I get to stop by and smoke with all you guys. Or
Oh, there will
You have to make it happen. Is all I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
You gotta pick an event and just say I'm going there, and we all go there.
Yep.
was there anything that actually like surprised you as like a new product or something you're like, that's gonna change my life? Is there any of those moments inside when you're looking at the booth?
Yeah, cannabis.
It's changed my life.
I mean, what Modern, he found a guy that made pipes that are bongs. That was like a game changer. I'm like, I need this in my life. But
This little thing right there.
yeah, how did that work? How did it work
Wash real
out?
good. It's got water inside it, but yet it won't spill.
Whoa.
See the water?
Yeah.
But yeah, it ain't gonna spill. Turn it upside down, whatever.
is it a
If you want to
bowl?
get it out of it, you blow
Yeah,
it.
it's a
Blows
bowl.
out. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Chicha,
Yes.
what you need is a coffee percolator bong.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time I hit it, it brews.
Oh, no.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
You ever find yourself looking for strains that taste like coffee? I personally enjoy them, but
Yes.
I haven't come across one, so
okay.
wish I did.
No, my answer to that is I do want my coffee to taste of coffee. I want my ganja to taste of fruit.
Mm.
A little jam with the coffee.
Hell yeah.
Makes me want to throw a bud in my French press with my morning coffee now.
Would it decarb it? It might decarb it at boiling temperature, might it?
I don't
I think
water
so.
boils
It's
way
just like
past
tea.
carboxylation.
Well, the trichomes would probably come off from the roiling water.
Mhm.
It would probably knock them off and
You lose all your terps.
I want to do that.
They're all gone. No more.
Why?
Chad earlier, he was talking about different white widows and stuff. But and that's typical. I mean, realistically, you pop 10 seeds and you can get 10 different phenols out of that. 10 other people pop the same 10 other ones. They get a little bit different variations. Yours is white widow, yours is white widow.
Mm-hmm.
Spreads on, and next thing you know, it's all over the place. It's different. Nothing we can do about that unless you just continue with cut only plants.
yep. cut only, and it really does make me wonder, it's like, because again, like true breeding lines are kind of almost a thing of the past. There's just not enough time to do that and still keep up with the hype. So do we really have anything almost to the sense of like, I can pop something, Red Pill could pop something, Smiley could pop something, and Gree 13 could pop something, and it's all going to be different. So what really is XYZ?
Right. It's all in the pheno.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
all
but
in the
it's all-
pheno.
But then it
Moment in time.
how that was grown too, because the certain
Right.
different cuts will grow different in different rooms. So yeah, it's hard to say, man.
That's a weird, expansive mind fuck that you can go down if you want to, because it is.
Yeah. I've got a wicked unicorn that is green, and promiscuous soil's got one that's purple.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think they're the same plant, but they're
No.
the same genetics. Just that's the way it's going to go, and that's the way it's going to be. So
It's the
sometimes
brother
when
and
somebody
sister
says
thing, isn't it?
something, doesn't mean it's not.
Brother and sister.
Doesn't mean it is. But
I blame weeds, but in the weed form. I blame it all on.
It's the same parents. That's all we're talking about. Like anything with genetics, you wouldn't look at dogs and expect all the dogs that come out, all the puppies to be the same. They're all going to be different because they're a bit of that one and a bit of this one. So when one is white widow and the other's white widow, you're just talking about the parents. You're not even talking about that strain, really.
Yeah.
That's a good frame for it. I like that.
It's just a reference. If you just called me Ian Valerie all the time, that would just be my parents. You'd be talking about maybe all their children. Oh, Ian Valerie, yeah, blah blah blah. That's like saying white widow, isn't it?
Yeah.
So one thing I think we all know what phenotype is, and then there's chemotype on top of that. So what I think of related to dogs, I don't know if anyone knows what a schnoodle is, a schnauzer and a poodle. Okay, well, there's a chemotype or breed called schnoodle, and then there's lots of different forms of them. There's like 7 different coat varieties. There's ones that are more dominant towards the the schnauzer, ones that are more dominant towards the poodle, but they're all schnoodles. And then there's like what would be a phenotype. There's ones with brown and white coats. There's ones with black and white coats. There's ones that have the same fur pattern on their face like a schnauzer does. There's ones that don't have that like the poodle does. So those would all be different phenotypes, even though they're all belonging to one chemotype, schnoodle. And that's any given chance. Like I said, it's all matters on what kind of parents there are, and every batch of puppies, you're not going to have identical puppy, even in the next litter. You're not going to see them. So it's a completely new puppy with brand new genetic coding each time, even though they're all schnoodle. Right?
And they're all F1s.
All F1s. All that yeah. So basically, that's what I mean. But the thing is, they're all identically not similar in the way that they look, like the way that the genetics express themselves, but they all have the same makeup. So what I would say for that is there's certain strains where it's kind of more obvious than other ones, like Super Lemon Haze. Those two, Super Silver Haze and a Lemon Skunk, when they get combined, they almost always make the same thing, but there's going to be different phenotype expressions, like how tall they get, how much they yield, how quick they finish, the type size trichome that they have, and how good it is for either ash production or not good for hash production. So even though they're all Super Lemon Haze, and you could smoke like 4 out of the 5 phenotypes and basically have the same terpene expression, there's like hundreds or thousands of other expressions that are all over the place. You're going to find short, stocky ones like a Lemon Skunk that take 11 or 12 weeks to flower, like a Super Lemon or Super Silver Haze. Then you can find ones with a Super Silver Haze structure that finish in 9 weeks or less.
To me, though, that's not a true breeding line.
But if you were blindfolded and you smoked them, and then you're like, yep, Super Silver Haze or Super Lemon Haze, and then we're like, okay, we got a new one for you. And then you did, and you're like, no, this is the same stuff. And you're like, nope, it's completely different. It's a different phenotype, but it tastes the exact same. So, but the only difference is time it finishes and how easy it is to clone. calyx to leaf ratio, but they all.
So the parts of that genetic code, in this case, flavor or smell, they're very
and
for those. Okay, for those parents, those mum and dads, someone's got very strong genes there, and someone's got very recessive genes. I'm guessing, and so really, it just gives over the same every time. And the other genes are like, yeah, you win that one, and then structurally, there's some changes and shit.
People would say it's subjective, and maybe I don't have the best nose, but I've smoked lots of different OGs: Kosher Kush, Ghost OG, Rascal OG, Walking Dead OG, the Planetary OGs, the Mars, the Jupiter. Yeah, I probably smoked, I don't know, fucking dozens or more different OGs. But to me, I can still identify that terpene profile. It's more or less the same all the time, even though it's got a million different names. So is someone renaming clones, or do OG terps pass on the strongest no matter what you're breeding it to?
It could be both. I definitely know that there is renaming with OGs. There's
What?
just out there. And, the OG in Florida is going to be different in Smiley's garden, and it's going to be different in my garden. So realistically, we could put a different name on it and call it something
Very
new.
true, but I would say any connoisseur for OG could definitely point out any OG. They might not know which one. Some of them be like, is this Triangle Kush? And you're like, yep, you got it. And some people would be like, is this Josh's cut of their original OG? And they're like, yep, it is. But what you're smelling in it is a note that is OG, like the same as like a musical note or a chord or something like that.
Chemovar. The Chemovar is very similar.
Yeah, the chemo type, Chemovar, same thing. So, but the genetic expression, like I'm saying, if I gave you some OG seeds and you were like you dialed your rooms in to be like low temp and dry, and you grew with HPS, then someone else grows with high humidity, high CO2 and LEDs, then you're going to have different genetic expressions. Like I said, maybe morphology of the plant, maybe how big it yields, how sturdy it can be, if it needs more staking or if it doesn't. But if I did give you OG seeds, or if I gave you super lemon haze seeds, you wouldn't be strayed far off the path. I'm like, oh, I know my super lemon haze. That didn't taste a damn thing like super lemon haze. It still would, but it's going to grow completely different in your environment than someone's environment that's completely opposite than you. But you both are going to get more or less the same finished product, not the growing. Your experience of growing the plant isn't going to be at all the same, but more or less, I mean, you're going to be able to write the name of the strain on there, and everyone that recognizes it is going to be able to identify. Right.
Sorry, I was laughing there. 2-minute warning for the 420. I was just laughing though, because I thought Chicha was really interested for a second. I'm like, oh, that's a picture.
So, you stoners, I'm going to ask you a question now. What are the original land strains? Do you know that?
I have no idea. I've never grown them or smoked them, but the one that I would always jump to, as far as that I know or heard a lot of, is just like Afghani.
Yeah, Afghani. I don't know.
Is the question original landrace, or where it all originated from?
Well, I'm only going off what I watched from watching Strain Hunters, and they, greenhouse seeds. They went round searching for the original land strains, didn't they?
They say there's really no land strains. I was talking to DJ Shorts about that. He said there's no real land strains, but it all comes from a certain region. So we're all going to have the same kind of makeup.
Yeah.
But even in a land race, there can be still different phenotypes and stuff. It's not going to be like this is a land race, they're all going to be just like that because they'll all go to the same areas. That's not necessarily the case. There's still going to be variations in them.
Yeah.
So there's no true, technically, land race.
The way that I heard
but they still all got the same genetics in it. They're all together the same.
Yeah.
They're all there. They just express differently.
There's a hypothesis that
gene pool.
Well, I know that there's a hypothesis that before the last ice age, they hypothesized that cannabis had already made it to every continent besides Antarctica, or maybe even including Antarctica. Well, after the ice age, they described the two places where cannabis sprung forward since then. They categorize as cannabis refugia, as its like technical, it's botany, term for what species it is. So out of some place in China, southwest China, I think Yunnan Peninsula, the Yunnan region in China, and then the steppes of the Caucasus Mountains, like somewhere near in between Georgia and the Ukraine, somewhere where supposedly were the only refuge zones during the ice age where cannabis still survived. So then after everything got locked up or melted down and everything wasn't locked up anymore, it was able to spread via wind, via person, via bird, all those other ways. But they hypothesized that before the ice age, it very well could be possible that everywhere on Earth that cannabis was already spread. And it basically got forcibly selected down because of environmental change, where there's only little refuge spots where it got to exist.
Do you think they have cannabis seeds in the Doomsday Vault?
Yes, I think they do.
Hell
I
yeah.
don't think they disclose it, but I almost guarantee that they do.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're not gonna say that. Yeah, it's bad, but we're gonna keep it just in case.
They've known it's been good. It's been used for thousands of years. So they just want to keep something good that's easy and cheap to manufacture for the most part, compared to growing a tree that takes 20, 30 years to get 2x4s off of, versus you can make like a compressed 2x4 with hemp.
Right.
You could compress 2x4 with buds and it'd still probably be cheaper than a normal 2x4.
Yeah.
You won't even need that 2x4, man. It's cool.
Yeah, but originally, a lot of hemp used to come out from England. That's why a lot of names of the places in England are called like Hempstead, Hempstead Heath, all this, because they used to grow a lot of hemp to make ropes and clothes and everything for the ships. Original. You'll know about that, won't you, Green 13?
Yeah, we don't have the same relationship that you have with it. Like, also hemp seed has never been illegal, so that's always been a thing. Like, every fisherman has probably a big pail full of hemp seed that they flick out into the water, and so the seed's the weird one, because you've always had that real. There's always been the American issue with that seed. Don't grow that shit. For us, hemp is not a big deal. They just don't want any THC.
No.
They don't want you to enjoy your life or make yourself healthy and better.
Yeah.
They want you to buy these pills and shit. Something they can tax for.
I used to do a lot of fishing and go fishing with hemp seed a lot. So I'm thinking now, why did I throw all this hemp seed in the lake? Should have just set it myself and see what happened. Did they all get stoned or not? Or because it's a normal hemp plant is you usually get CBD out of it, yes or no?
Yeah.
It's CBD. Yeah. That's what I hate at the moment. I've been through a bit of trouble growing a few plants at my house. I went last year. I went down the road and there's a field just full of hemp, and I looked at it and thought, wow, there must be 10,000 plants in that field, and I get done for growing 28 plants.
Right. They really are the same plant. It's just one contains more THC than the other. Give us a break. Same plant.
Yeah, it's literally like the conversation we were having before. It's the same plants, just
Yeah.
different parents, the same.
The best thing that happened to me though, I had 4 plants that were in bloom, and they were probably about 2 weeks off finishing. And when the people come and wanted to see my plants, they cut the whole plants down and everything, even the clones and plants that were in veg. And they dried everything out. Thank God, to be honest. They dried everything out and then weighed it and then mixed it all together and then tested the THC in the total. You understand that?
Like
So
everything,
basically-
like
Yes.
You know what's funny is, believe it or
the
not, I
total-
believe that's the proper way to test for actual real
aggregated
THC
samples.
percentage.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it depends how much biomass there is. You're just doing a
I know that.
percentage of
Well, I know that.
total
That's because I don't.
biomass.
That's what I mean. I don't believe that cherry picking your favorite nug in the whole grow and then ripping off a 0.1 piece of that. Of course, it's going to be 34% THCA. You just pinched off mostly trichomes there, buddy. So yeah,
Yeah.
take the whole total of the plant biomass and all. That'll tell you your true THC percentage. None of that bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, it was
Interesting.
good. It was good for me because
Yeah, that helped you for sure.
The plant that I was growing, the plants that I was growing was it was called Orange Bud from Dutch Passion Seeds, and the trichomes on it were fantastic. The best grow I ever did, to be honest, went from getting into it, and I bought the tents over years. I
Don't
bought
say
the
that,
tents.
bro. That's heartbreaking, man. Come on.
Oh, it killed me, to be honest. Destroyed me for years. This now, I'm only just really getting out of it to probably talk about. But what made me laugh? They cut everything up, ground it all up like clones, seedlings. I think he had 6, 7 plants in veg that were ready to go in when the other 4 were finished. I made it like a 4 out, 4 in. You know what I mean?
mhm.
Perpetual grow. So they ground it all up, and then they tested it, and it come out the THC in the plant was 0.0% THC. Yeah, because they'd mixed it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So they got an average.
But they must always do the same thing. So
Yeah.
their scale must be different, is all.
it's crazy. It's crazy
It was so
because
diluted down
when-
with biomass, and their testing equipment wasn't efficient enough to detect whatever level of THC was left after that.
They probably
Yeah.
just have a firm enough understanding of the plant to be like, we need to do this to the buds.
yeah.
If we want to
what-
get a conviction here for all the money we've paid for this stupid in fucking endeavor.
Oh yeah, but the craziest thing was when I was in the court, and you know that you have the judge sitting behind the counter and everything. He said, "Mr. Spiky Pilot," I'm not bothered, Paul. He said, "Paul," he said, "Your weed, yes." I said, when they ground it up, I had like probably a kilo of weed, kilo of stalks and everything.
Biomass, yeah.
Biomass, yeah.
The
Crap
judge said to me, he said, right, last week we had somebody in and they had 60 grams of cannabis. Yeah. And he said, it was more stronger than what you had. He said, I wouldn't have bought weed off you anyway. You know what I mean? This is the judge. This is the judge. He basically told me me weed was shit.
That's music.
And
You do have to give me off on this.
I think he was a smoker. He must have been a smoker to say something like that.
There was
Must have.
one
Just
piece.
half. It was just half.
He was
buddy.
insulted. He was trying you on such a little amount.
Oh yeah.
Case in the UK, and this was probably within the last 5 or 6 years, but a guy got busted growing in the UK. Is totally not cool, but he was such a shitty grower, and the judge agreed that they just threw it out because they looked at the plants, what it was actually producing, and just like, yeah, they just got rid of it. He was such a shitty grower.
What a slap in the face, though.
Yeah, I'd be like, bro, don't be a prick. Fucking give me a sentence, you cock. What the fuck?
What a fucking, I can't even sentence you. This isn't
I'm
even.
not talking about your
What the
mum.
fuck
You
is
can't be talking. You wouldn't.
It's like a total Bugs Bunny scenario, like Bugs Bunny switching them to yes and no, like the reverse psychology. That's funny shit.
So it's okay. They give me a sentence, 3 months in jail. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Well,
now I've talked to him everything, because last time when I come on Eagle was episode 350, I think, and I was meant to be going to jail at the end of the week.
yeah.
And I talked to him. I've got to do 426 hours
Oh, dude,
working for
Six too many. 6 too many.
I thought you were
I know, right?
working for the government for free. I don't mind.
That's a
I don't
lot, though, bro. That is a lot. That's a lot of
know.
hours.
is.
I know. It's 3 months work for free. No problem.
Need a good
Thank-
joint while you're doing it.
Yeah. Well, last time I did community. Sorry.
Sounds better than sitting in a cell, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
Shit. I'll take
Well, to be
that.
honest, when I was younger, I had to do 40 hours community service because I got caught driving with no license when I was younger, and I went to community service and come out from doing the community service knowing more people that sold weed and everything else than I did before I started doing community service.
Isn't that funny?
Well, yeah,
Heard that too.
county just makes you better at what you did.
Connections in there.
Oh, that's where all the connections are.
Yeah, true.
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna bounce out. Thank you, Eagle, for having me in here, and thanks everybody for chatting. And Spiky, extra special appearance,
Thank you.
guys. But y'all have a good night and party on.
Thank you for stopping in,
Love
Jay.
Chad, man.
See you later.
Peace out.
I'm
Don't
bouncing.
get a haircut.
I'm out too, guys.
That's,
I'm
it's that
past-
time.
Riley.
It is, man. Thank you, Eagle, everybody. Good to see you guys.
Yep.
See you, Smiley.
Congratulations again.
Yeah.
What? On what?
His daughter graduated.
We did.
Graduated.
We did.
Oh,
That's cool.
perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But I do believe it is a good time to wrap this thing up, guys. I'm gonna go back to working in the garden, but it's been a weird night being off camera like this. It's fucking a little different and enjoyable.
Oh shit.
And enjoyable.
Yeah, we're usually off camera watching too. So
Yeah, it's a little.
What you been doing, Eagle? Working? I'm not going to
Yeah.
start asking you questions now.
I know.
Love
He's
and
like, I'm
peace.
trying to wrap this up. And now all of a sudden you want like
Off with
20
you.
questions? What the fuck?
You go back to the first 5 minutes of the stream, you'll hear him say he's partially nude.
Just disappeared. Yeah.
all right,
Yeah,
see you
we'll let
later.
you down tonight. Night, my next.
Peace, guys.
Peace out,
Peace
Myra.
out.
Guys.
Well done.
Okie dokie. I'm gonna roll out too. I do have a doctor's appointment to get new glasses next week, so I'm gonna have to slightly adjust my sleep schedule if I'm not around for a couple wormholes. But I'll have new glasses soon, so it's worth it.
Thank you for popping in, help holding it down tonight, brother. Appreciate
No
it.
problem, Eagle. See you, Chicha, Spiky, Green 13. And yep, see you guys later. Peace out, chat.
Yep. It's Morgan.
Mr. Spiky, thanks you for popping on, sir. I
No
greatly
problem,
appreciate
Eagle.
it.
No problem. No problem. I need to build up a bit more confidence, and I'll probably come a lot more like. But just trying to
hope
sort
so.
me, just trying to sort things out at the moment in my life, you know. So anyway, I was worried about you anyway, Eagle. I'm going to go after this. You know, for the last week, there was nothing coming from you. I thought you died or something. I think I even emailed you, didn't I? Eagle, is everything okay? Are you okay, man? It's like when you don't hear from somebody for a few days, you think, what's going on? Is he okay? And it's like I've never met you, don't get me wrong, apart from on the live stream, but it's like you get worried about people that you don't see for a while, you know what I mean?
I appreciate that. Yeah, it was fine. Just a little crazy turn of life, you know what I mean? And take a few days off, kind of
I don't
get some
blame you.
shit straightened out.
No, everybody needs a bit of time off, don't they? You know, I've learned now. So if I get notifications in the morning, your notifications get me up. That's my alarm clock in the morning, to be honest. And if I don't
That's
get a
pretty
notification,
awesome.
pardon?
I said, that's pretty awesome. Thank you.
So if I don't get a notification off Eagle, I can have a lie-in. Anyway, I'm going to go let you get on with your work. I know that you've got a lot of things to do there, to be honest. I don't know how you do it, to be honest. I have a lot of respect to you, how you actually hold this together. I couldn't do this. I really couldn't do this. No chance. You know. Anyway, I'll say from Germany, Auf Wiedersehen. And from England, goodbye. And from America, I don't know what I'd say from America. Okay.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Ciao.
Have a great day, my friend.
You too.
And
You
thanks
too.
thanks
Bye.
to everybody for joining in tonight. Always a pleasure. Nice visit from the Spiky Pilots. Always a pleasure there. But hopefully you guys will tune in tonight when my guest will be Adam from 2020 Mendocino Scenes. Should be a great episode. Hopefully a little cooler tomorrow. I will definitely be on camera, but what the heck? This has been a fun one. So I gotta hurry up and do these shout outs so I can go wash off this half a tattoo. I'll be getting the other half tomorrow. Looking forward to finishing up the Buddha. So thank you guys for tuning in. Let's get these shout outs going. Come on, YouTube, give me some music. What are they gonna throw me? The butchers and the builders. I'll take it. What time to get up for Southern BT Grower? Cheers to you. Thanks again, Chad Westport, for popping in and helping me wing it through this Monday night wormhole. I greatly appreciate it. Hi, Medic. Cheers to you, too. Let's get these shout outs going. Freaking over something cool. Mama lost 710. Garrett Wolfwood, Corny, Green Dumb Bone, Christina MG89, Plug 705, Medical McGullicuddy, Rick T, the Rebel, the 9207, Fabian, Selena's Dave's Not Here, Tom Scoop, Great Walker, Bendo Dope, T-Dog, Young Beetle, Red Eye Jedi, Rose, Mother Nature, Justin Conley, Duck Lee, Run Boy 7426, Justin Kirk, Good Earth, Strange Man, Okie Grower, Cody Trevor, Michael Wallace, Small Vision 420, Mucho, Cat Daddy, Taco, Don Slug, Rick S. In the Bushes, 827, James Siemens, Kevin Kahn, World's Last Hope, Pat Spinning, Bio Mentor, Dirt Road Dude, Kenna Shiva, Jose Ramirez, Fred I. Rustler, Dan Goblin, Dr. Buzz Lightyear, Acetone, Kenneth, Queen Genetics, 10, Canuck, Stabby Tanase, Boomer, Dirtman Dan, Keith Black Sales, Mr. Bosilis, Zim Premium Gardens, Rasta Bob, Rasta Jeff, Soul Root, Small Tubes, Tyler, Frosty Buzz, Norm, Michigan Micro, Ouija Buds, Dub T, Roy, Big Jerk, Roll, JC, Monarch Genetics, SoCal Weeder, and John, Last PPG 15s, Green County Grower, CJ Apple, Perfectly Perfected, Dollar Tree Grower, T1 Productions, State Grower, UOA Grown Meds, Miss Nudie Grows, I Grew Some, Johnny Cancy, Nutrient Shootouts, Naughty Nicky, Zoe and Slammer, NNY, Pixel Monkey, St. Fred Hours, Observation, Blue Global 420, High Spy, August 25, Disman T, Stu Moon Monk Grower, Candy Creek, Loki Grows, This Guy, Burton 79, Polish Hammer, Midwest, Outlaw 31, Voodoo Ultras, Fresno Nerds, Cali Connection, Wolverine, Grower, Big Jar Grows, Jimmy One for Life, Big way back, Farmer, P Block, MMT, Nations Creations, Amber Lalana, Psychedelic Warlock, Artist LD, Search Ricky, Rob, Big Dave 420, Brent Windle, Big Ed 1961, Matt Waddy, G Green, The Green Click, JK Triple G, Mr. Sprinkler, Brittany, Tyler Susie, Hope Farms, Lisa G, John, BG Crazy for you, BGWG 420, Jack Boswell, Thumb OG, hopefully you're well, Arthro, Pennsylvania, Arthro, Just Space 420, Beast Coast 420, Sir House, Trey Malone, Keep It Real, Agaton 420, 771, Audit, Everywhere, BTWA Road, Fingers, thank you. Green Pumpkin Man, Green Alex Boyd, Steph Life, School of Props, Those I Love Green Mountain Grower, Southwest Okie Reels, 212, Any Man, Brandon Family Farms, Case Farms, Sweet Flower, Rang, Anderson, Green 13, Luke say about wins, King Finance, Indra, Michigan native, Mary James Bedgard, Street 77, Double E, Bad Bunny, Nutrients, Miss Green Pops, Miss Green Nugs, 619-664, Spaniard, Kruger, Jones in the Grove, Pop G Rose, Raz, Amy, Grows, Cast, Grow From Your Heart Podcast, Lily Luna, The Green Red Flock, Stony Creek, Lost Art, Mr. No One, LG 420, Giant Mike, Prometheus Soil, Jason Isom, P. Wynn, David Colby, Mason 662, Scruggy McScruggerton, The Fourth Goddess, Groves, Kaylee Burrows, Chad and Brad, Family Farms, Polly P. Bjork, Kevin Jodry, Mike Concho, Jay Huggins, UTA, Green Tree Hunter, Kush Cloud, Joshua Steensland, Oak Organic Home Buds, Warren Nelson, Camwood, Maine, Mystic, Show Love Always, Kelly Stone, Texas OG, Sarge, or Chuck Norris, sorry about that, Sarge, S. Claire, Fresno, Happy Guy, 311 Mix Up, Kinder Grove, Evergreen Hayes, 3G's, Friend Tree, MMJ, Matt S.A. Buck, Dragonfly B, Justin Meds, Travis Walsh, Lucky Mike, Seattle Chronic Seeds, King Chronic, Titan from Blessed Coast Seed, Shango Gas from Vassal for Life, John Smith, Tommy Trico, Spoke King Raz, Pop Little, Slow Roll, Spiky Pilot, Oscar Green Jr., Matt Steelberg, Into 11, Stephanie V, Shark Bully 989, Von Brown, Sovereign Gardener, Stoner Nation 420, Joe Y, Bugs 1313, Grower, Painted Lady, Frank Boot, Jade Myers, Jamid, the Chat, Mr. Manny D, Bag C, Dr. DGC Jeff, Sergeant 911, Dutch Grows 420, Scallywag 420, Skillbow 1, Med Grower 1, Empire Breeding Code for Rolly, Lost Leaf, Liam Mass, Eddie Danko, Pete Bear Selling, Ali Noble, CK, Tom Drendad, Looney Jester, Smoking With, Small Town, Tim S., Mr. Lazy, Raptor, Grove, Rob, Automation is Freedom, Robert Hazelton, Door, Michigan Forward, Double Tap, Mr. Green Dumb Bum, 420, 808, Rudy Prospects, Cannon Bus Driver, Hayden Life, Kenny 710, Operation Road, T-Ben, TM 426, 96, Rude Nut 619, Hammered Emails, Dr. Scrambles, BB Moonrocks, GHF, Double J, Bio Green, Stealth Grower, Hanky Safety, 420 OGKP, Your Ganja, Nana, Yo Mama, Georgia Joe, Roy Rodriguez, Pete Growing, Nature Press Nuts, Killer Beat Grows, Ganja Wizard, Husky Gardens, Nut Tree 420, Dr. Food Soul Life, Bullet for Life, Jeff Row 420, Phoebe 698, goddamn my baby, Ted's Chest, The Rippin' Pet Boy, the Jack Greenstock, 420, 420, Boom Farm, Charlie Farm, 420, Aldridge, 25, Smiley's Gardens, congratulations one more time, JD's, Misty's next, Smoky Grove, Frazier, Grokoski, Twisted Roots, Space Farm, 420, Jeff Dorowski, Genetic Memory, Bryanton Ball, 420, Cameron, Mr. Bagsy, Jill Carter, Mystic Marks, Mystic Grower, Ginger Snap, DTE, Rose, Rick Wolf, DLP 2372, Ned Denver, Mike Denver, Sergeant Pep 420, Ken Trooper, Flying Cat 420, Light It Up Again, Tim, UKS, Ab 420, Buddha Boy, Devin Shipwreck, Medical MJ, Bugsville, USA, Resurrection Firefight, Chris Martinez, Date Man Dan, Date Man 420, Red Set of Farms, Good Life, Joni Bell, Tisa B, Most Hated Growers, Major General 420, Army, the American one, W Digger 714, Sharates, Kiddios, Mountain Skies, ready to hit that hot five. Chris Mertz, Ian, Save Robbie, Sergeant Live, Heavy Cam, Finger Lakes Finest, Ridge Patch, Dozer Moon, Southern BT Grower, Chief Medical, Jerry Bear, Hutch One, Westport, Secret City, Pioneers, My Little Tents, 24-2 Spacewalker, Christian, T Mountain, T Barrington, Heart and Soul, Homegrown, Mike B, T Dwayne, East Coast Will, Heidi J, Galactic Gardens, John Smith, Elliptus, My Natural Farms, Pacific Northwest Seeds, Ross Paul, Lemon, Holco, Trent, Rita's Juicy Life, Pro 20, Grant Manuel, Bear Bound, Sammy Sizzle, 81, 9-inch Colas, Chris Moon, DK Trades, Bishop Creator, Guru, Dekai Brew, Cannon Nation, J Wire, that is. Bob Wobby, Sean Bidge, Rescue, Roadside, Ready, LLC, Notorious Snugs, Magma Seeds, Father and Son Trimming, Notorious Sub T Dank, Jose, Martin Perez, Doggo the Hut, 420, Buck, Chiba Man, GR 420 Community Videos, Detroit, River Rat, Lewis Garcia, Michael P, AJ, Everyday, Captive Audit, Maine 420, Med Grower, Cookies, Coop, Jay Kendricks, In for the Grill, Backwoods All Dog, Sally Mansell, Adam Skinkin, Chanel Simpson, One Smoke Away, Ganja Roach, Kazoo, Aaron Burnett, Shrooms, Mr. Lincoln Stinkin, Angel Studios, MG, the 420 Grow Tent, Paul D. Elliott, John Fleming, Dankovich, Fiber, Pauly P. Seldom Seen, Elevated, Lenny Organic, Sunman, Sunny Chiba, Jeff Papali, Ricardo Sosa, Dan J, Earth Friendly, Farming, Kenny Forrest, Farmer, Fuck All That Be, The Misfit Grower, Jason Line 512, Snake Eyes Northern 4466, Jason Grayson, Stone Breaker MD, Sony Creek, Russ Sonic, Prince Dweller, Tarzan Superman, Old Man Hermit Hash, Freebird, Mo Grower, Madigar, Simple Man, Survival Time, Tim Blake, East Coast, Chronic Stinkpad, Chemo Sky, Caballero, Harley Grower, Gent God, Jason Line 512, Steve Collins, Todd Kendricks, Property Maintenance, Sharpie the Island, Hayes, Scuba Steve Speaks, JR Rim, Randy K, Steve Collins again, TCDR, Claire Killian, Wardrobe, Farming, Randy Grande, Pip 1000, Ace Boom 3223, Wake Up, Captain Freedom V, Puffer Smiles, 15 Digits, Michigan Ganja Moose, Fred G, Super fucking Bob, Broski 808, Weekend at Bernie's, K-Bag, Justin Station, Strong Style, Organic, Sippy, I Medic 31, Honesty, K-Hell, Be All Flower, Brent Boog, Todd Kendricks, Newton, KNT, Chris D, Truth Shield, Bowtime Spo, Natty Dreads, Barbara, Matthews, Ancient Soul, Grown, Kevin Jiu-Jitsu, Kenna Health and Happiness, Berserk 215, Clab, Low Cut, Albert Trenley, Mo Maniac Meds, Raz, Benji, Helen, Huge, Janus, James T, Atomic Smooth, Miss Jill, Big Daddy, Gardens, High Flyer 420, Mother Tree, Main Red Pill, Yo Boy, Roy Boy, Aesthetic, Shannon Gibson, Ruhan, Rick W, Comfortably Numb, One Smoke Away, the 840 Show, Richard Lamb, Red Pill 710, thank you again, Canvas Pursuit, K Rolling, Worthy Buzz, Logan Man, 81, Oil and Flower Podcast, Entourage Spec, Warren Dixon, Pink Lady Luck, El Mondo 420, surrounded by Keith Ferrari Farms, Bridge Dweller, Single Fathers, Without Good, Dan the Indoor Man, Gromies, Homies, Hamilton, Throne, Cliff, Smoke, Keystone, Canna Flag, PA, Big High 710, Eugene, Greenleaf, Ace Drew, Hustle, Brenda, Carlos, North Arizona, Beer Girl 420, No Sellout, Jesse White, Gasting Yeti, Introvert Genetics, So J, Vixen, Robin, Killer 8, Mo, James Buttercream, C-Dub from NorCal, the Pharmacy Seedbag, Deadhead, Smokey 616, Curtis Mayhem, Matt Myron, Morte, Rick Heyman, Stephanie Dore, Antenna Seeds, Curious K, Mike Rubles, the True Bear 420, Maxi 751, Lawrence Gonzalez, Slow to Get Up, Stu Moo, Popco 719, Baker Shake, baby. Old Smoke, Papa PWC, Grown Bugs, Floor Wash, Mr. Weed Blunt, Old School Floor, Chad Westport, Honcho, Grown Floor Nugs, My Little Piece of Heaven, Pungent Sound Seeds, Goliath Grower, Richard T, Chrissy Wannabe, Crispy Wannabe, Mr. Soul Boot Spectrum, Gone God, Lori Hanson, Real 2000 Years of Tradition, Mr. D. Connolly, Pimp Jam, McMotivate, Show Me Sasquatch, Fuck Google and You, I'm Going Well, Canadian Free Store, Porter Dirt Farm, Call Right, Scepter, Humble Farms, Tanny Root Farm, Seldom Seen, Oak Park Garden, Tail 9782, Skunk Packs, Martial Artist 2012, Micro Slave Happener, Daniel McDizzle, Medically Fit, KGB, Robert Mr. Green Fingers, Motherfucking Thomas, Rancher Codes of Plenty, Monkey Balls, Andrew Champlin, Bobby Lynn, me, Trent Digger, Benster, Mac, Tony Lake Baloney, Bill S, Mr. Weed, Peace, Tater Delicious, Minty Country Root, Huron, Fire Genetics, Earth Creeper, Big Ray 420, Teeny 101, Buds and Answers, Mr. Club 14, Peter Beerman Fire 616, not a lot more. Max Screwman, Ruby, Timothy McKimmons, Neil, Jesse Beans, Chronic 88, Matt Belly, Real, Jennifer Steele, Kimbus 03, Turk Farmer, Shannon, Stevens, Carlitos, Latinos, Gator Country, Mr. Speed, Wolfstein, Firesong, Wally Wookie, The Goddess Grows, Rasta Bob, White Feather Grows, Vernon Shrooms, Tone Grows, Dan, Caveman Grows, BX, Gunna 81, Smith Dude No, Rose, Sean McCain, Jake Monks, Dake Agenda, Walla Walla, Canada Grove, Ball Dog, Huron, Kansas Council, Alyssa Parrish, Rock Band, Justice Big 420, Bid Fresh Grows, Private Nerve, High Band, High Boy, that is, your man Grows, We Be Growing Australian, Grow Up with the Plant, Argo, American, Smart Poker, Unposted, Caveman, Hawaii's Highest, Surfcraft, Micro Groove, Jeff Lowfells, Mobius Grows, Dank, Brownies, Dan D, Elliot, Harkins, Missing Flavor, The Foraging Gardener, Overwater, Overkill, Seattle Steve, Showdown Warrior, Valley Green, 514, Amelia Jensen, us, Indica, Dr. MJ Coco, Brandon Russ, Matthew Gates, Steve Spag, Drone Sire, Shotgun Willie, Dake, Yoda, Jay Simmons, Sure Bro, Grows, Clackaman, Scoop, DJ Conley, Aaron the Grower, 1978, Light 1978, Michigan Grown Buds, Your Boy Roy Boy, Delta 9, Jay McDaniels, Clackamas 420, Siki Colas, Dylan Steinfort, PFC Farms, Husky Garden, Sungrown, 707, J.A. Drove, J420, Cascadian Grove. Thank you for the kind words, Cascadian. Tito's McGee, 4 Plants A, Weedworks, Captain Strong, Chunky Bud, Tom's Warrior, Jackie Young, Terry Lee Live, Gaster, Tempe, Eddie, Anthony, Urge, Green, Junior, Leon, from All Purpose Plus, Green Goose, 11 Smiles, 11, Midview Buds, Michael Ross, Plenty, Richard Forbes, David, Minta, people, Nicotine, John Reese. What about Bob, Prince, Patty, Daniel, Bergman, Green Puppet Man, Beat Dunkley, James Chung, Sarge Gross, 818, John Wade, Carolina Roots, Sister Golden Hair, Deanna, Dangarino, K-Net Gardens, Blank 1030, choose one, Only Feet Farmer, Jones, Crypto Dope, James Slam, again, HIP Grower, Fat GB, Dan Marino, Chronic Wonder, Sunrise Grows, Top Floor Genetics, Full Vision 420, K2 Canvas, Justin Fisher, My Dog Nelia, Rooster Farms, Alex Hardy, Hardy Gear, Betty Crapper, Daniel Grows Photos, Michigan Grown Meds, Sunrise Grows, of course, my big girls, Lexi, Brittany, Koo, No Limit 916, Mr. Grumpy Toad, Alchemist, and Canna Mix, Soulborn, Addiction, Ross Joel, Alex D, Dirty or Catfish, High Power, Thunder Dan, Propagation Station, John McDaniels, Lisa Marie, Sarge Grows, 818, Blaze 80, Blaze Daily, that is Friday, Perpetual, Eagle Pride War, Sarah Smiles for you, Frank Senda, The Date Duchess, Kino, Kelly Maxwell, Captain 420, Steve Fat, what about Bob, Iljuster, Pop Shrooms, John Gorarski, Dungeon, Gangsta, THC4, PTSD, T-Barrington, Honcho, Bro, Swampcat, Pardalero, Camo, Binka. I'll never get that one right. Best up because Mr. Manny D, Cannon Fiery, Whoa, 20 AV Normal, Frank Guerrero, Bear Beat, J Brent 74, CK Brown Guy 420, Packadur 420, Vernon Tree Main EA, Gray Sun Grow 207, Hydro Daily, Hempwood GG, JD, Jamie Reed, Supreme Grape, Sony Rockefeller in the house, Caveman Cannabis, Root City Sid, Hawaii Sustainable, Midnight Roots, Dead Cynic, Snuggles, Michael P, Polly B, Quick B, Thimble, Bud Kilowatts, Michael D, Football, 889, rather. Hispanic Brothers, Mycelium Man, Joseph, Grace Medicine RX, Keeping Chief, Hydro Daily, Concerned American, Canvas 411, Freedom of Speech, Dr. Joynsworth, D Street, Ganjo Sudoku, 710 is Oil Upside Down, Jesse Stevenson, Victoria, What About Bob, Sacred Gardens, Gus Rose, Slick Rick 8, Dog Pound, David Seattle, our Move Watts, Stay Yeti, Ed Ren, Emmett Roan, Uncle Elmer, Off Grid Terms, Christopher 54, Matthew from SoCal, Sue, Man Beaters, Jinx Proof, Dark Horse today, Stoner Dude, Joel and Jen from North Star, Carolina, Mr. Cry PTA B13 Lil, Beyond Perfection, XX Elite GPXX, Uncle Stoner, Chrissy Treat Kitchen, Crispy Treat Kitchen, that is, Grower's Paradise. What the fuck did I write down there? LAD Grown Gardens, that's what it is. City Gardens, Decoy Bacon, Mr. Scotto, Fresh Baked One, Jay Allen's, Big Bob Rhodes, Jolly Canna, and last but never ever least, we is 207. Thank you guys for joining in to this episode 413. Holy shit, I can't even believe I can say that. Thank you guys. I am very, very grateful that you guys show up night after night. You guys know the deal. If this is the end of your day, your routine, please get some rest. If this is the beginning of your day, have an amazing day. Do something nice for yourself, but moreover, please take time to try to do something nice for somebody. Random acts of kindness do save lives. I mean it. They do. Have a great day. I'll see you tonight with Adam from 2020 Mendocino. Have a great day.